just to warm our brains up, indulge me for a couple of minutes, and tell me what you see.
A dog.
See a dog? Anyone else?
In the beginning, I saw a dog, and then the
a
second
man.
picture, it seems a man.
I saw a man and a dog, a man with a dog on his back.
Yes.
I didn't notice the dog at all.
See that now. Anyone else?
I saw a man at first, and then I saw a dog. When in the small one, it looks like a man. In the bigger one, it's clearly, to me, looks like a dog.
Yeah.
If you hadn't mentioned the dog, I would have seen the man first.
I haven't seen a man. Where's the man?
Yeah, I can't see a man at all.
Same. Happy dog.
I struggled to see the dog.
Okay, so actually,
I see. Okay.
yeah. Anyone else? Okay.
It's before Afshan, and I saw a man first of all, but when I see it on the screen that you've shared, I see the dog very clearly.
All right. So some of you may have seen this on the internet recently. It caused a stir, and exactly this. People weren't sure whether they were looking at a man or a dog. Apparently, so some people were saying it's a man going into the woods, and some people were saying it's a dog.
I can see the man now, yeah.
Can you see the man? Some people were saying it's a dog.
A man with a dog's head rucksack on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog's head rucksack I've never noticed before, but now that you mention it, I see what you're seeing. Okay. Well, the truth of it is that this is a dog emerging from the woods. But apparently, depending on how you look at the picture and where your eye hits first, kind of gives you a leaning as to what you see first. So just hold on to that thought of, just the fact that, well, basically this is about perceptions, isn't it? And optical illusions are that, although this didn't set out to be an optical illusion, just an innocent photograph that somebody took that then caused this stir and people saw different things in there. I don't want to get into the psychology of it. I read a little bit, it didn't make sense. I just thought the psychology of it was a bit pants, actually. But I think there's something here about just the fact that we all see things differently. But as people went around and said, oh, but I see the man. Oh, no, I see a dog in the rucksack. Others started to see a different viewpoint. So I think for me, the thought I want you to hang on to is just that we do have different perceptions. So at this stage, just want to welcome you to this event. Again, thank you so much for registering. It's just been, I mean, for me, amazing and just exciting. And now that I see you all, I'm slightly nervous, but I'm enjoying it as well. So we are today it's all about marking International Women's Day, and the theme that they've set is Choose to Challenge. So I want to spend a little bit of time this morning exploring what that means for you and for us together. These events, these inspire conversations. I was inspired actually by a team I've worked with recently, but also by a project that I worked on recently. And it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, which is just have a space where women and men can come together and, discuss, learn from each other, maybe have a bit of training. And this is that space, Inspire. It's taken me, I don't know, probably about a couple of years to finally get to putting it together. And I don't know what stopped me. I just have no idea. I can't explain to you. Maybe just nerves. I'm not sure. But recently, something struck me, and I thought, no, let's do this. And the response has been great. So I want to continue these. I would love for you, if you enjoy this by the end of it, to come to me and say, hey, look, can I run an Inspire conversation? So I do want this to be a two-way thing. I would like it to be owned by everyone who's a part of this. It's not about membership, but it's just about a space that we have that we can use to discuss, to show and tell, to announce good news and inspiring stories. So that's what it's about. What I would like us to do is, and I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I want to see everyone. A quick, just to cover a few things here. The usual, on mute when you're not speaking, whether your cameras are on or off, it's a personal choice, not a problem. Raise your hand raise your hand if you want to say anything at any point. Sue will keep an eye on that. I can't see who's raised their hands, but Sue will keep an eye on that for me, her side. But raise your hand anytime. If you can't find the raise hand function, just put a message in chat to Sue to say that you want to ask a question or make a comment, and we'll pick up on that. Do view messages as they appear on chat, and engage, come forward. As we're talking, if you suddenly think, oh, there's a great piece of work, or there's a book that we must read, or there's an article, pop those into the chat. I will collect those and I will send them around, but it would be great for everyone to see. Of course, we're going to be talking about perhaps some difficult topics here. I'm not sure. And it's all about just that at the very beginning, we looked at the perspectives. We all have different perspectives. We all come to these topics from a different point of view. And I think it's just about keeping our minds open. Challenge yourself, challenge your assumptions, be the stars of this show. I really want you to be the stars of this show. I'm here to guide and encourage, and you're here to just be guided, but inspire. So paste as much as, just add to the chat box as we go. So the theme is, for International Women's Day, choose to challenge. And what I'd like to do, warm you up using the chat box, is I'd like to ask you this: what comes to mind when you think about this sentence, choose to challenge? What comes to mind? And what I'd love for you to do, please, is just to share your thoughts in the chat. So it's a little bit of a quiet, reflective time. But if you could pop into chat, what comes to mind? Yeah, choose to challenge. There's a whole host of things. Does anyone want to say anything before we move to the next slide? Does anyone want to pick out a comment that they've seen?
My favourite is one by Lolita, Speak Up, Be an Ally.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Sue. Anyone else? I'll be calling names out. Louise, is there anyone that caught your eye?
I'm sorry, Afshan, I was just being a bit slow on my functions. Yes, I think the one from Katrina there, make a positive impact, because it's about looking at challenge positively. For me, challenge can also feel a bit scary because you don't want to do it inappropriately.
Yeah.
So it's about how you do it effectively and still make a difference.
Thanks. Julie, can I come to you? Is there one that's struck?
I'm just scrolling down them. I suppose Marguerite's don't settle, sort of to challenges, don't settle and assume that whatever something said is gospel and the truth and not challenge it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for adding those, and thanks those that spoke there. Yeah, absolutely. So just getting you into this frame of mind, we're going to have a discussion around this topic. But I just wanted you to kind of be in the right frame of mind at this point. But this moves me to the commitment cards. So International Women's Day gathered a set of commitment cards, and some of you will have them and some of you won't. But if you got them, this is your moment just to go grab your commitment card. I've got mine here. So just going to give you a second just to grab them, because what I'd love to do, whilst we're still all fresh, and whilst we're still online, because I do know some of you will have to, some of you may have to leave a bit sooner. I don't want to leave this to the end, but I would love for you to go grab your commitment card, because I would love to just get a screenshot, if you have them, of us just holding your commitment card. If you don't have your commitment card, maybe you can just be in shot with your hand up. You don't have to be in shot, so you can turn your camera off. I'm really, you is that, okay, so we've all agreed to, choose to challenge, and we've had some great thoughts already in the chat box about what that means to you. But what I want to ask you is, are you choosing to challenge? It's the question that I've asked myself since this has been, since I've been thinking about this session, is do I actually challenge? And when do I challenge? What sort of situations do I challenge? And, in thinking about that, it made me realize that there are maybe times I don't challenge, and should I? So what are those situations that I do challenge? And therefore, what are those, does it then highlight situations where I don't and I should? And then the question for me was about how. So is it through action? Do I just walk away, or do I stand up, or do I say something? Do I do both? And it's just got me thinking about this in a more proactive way. So what we'd like to do, what I'd like to do, and I think those questions have gone into chat.
We all have unconscious biases. Our brains take in more information than they can process, so we rely on mental shortcuts to simplify the world around us, which means we rely on stereotypes. And let me be clear, we all do this. Sometimes those mental shortcuts are helpful. If an animal is running towards you in the woods, you don't stop to think whether or not it's a bear before you decide what to do. You make a snap judgment. But relying on snap judgments about people can be very harmful. Experts at Harvard developed what's called the IAT, or the implicit association test, to better understand the biases we commonly hold. The results are eye-opening. 76% of participants more readily associate men with career and women with family, regardless of their own gender. And 75% of participants show a preference for white people over Black people. And this is even true for half of Black participants. Let those numbers sink in for a moment. It's hard to admit our biases. We don't want to see ourselves falling into these traps. But no one is immune from bias, which means we all have work to do. This video series will help you understand the common biases women face. But research shows that awareness is not enough. We need to internalize that gender biases are harmful and learn how to counteract them in real life. From challenging yourself to slow down and make more measured decisions, to speaking up when you see biased behavior in others. We need to commit to be part of the solution. It's not just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. Employees on diverse teams are more committed and work harder. And companies with more women in leadership have more generous employee policies and produce better business results. We all benefit when we tap everyone's talents and ideas, and we all rise when women rise.
In the post event, is there someone that you want to link up with, and I will facilitate those links, okay? Of course, I hope we'll see each other again in a future session. But just something that I wanted to leave you with, this final thought, and I don't know why it's not, here we go. So just a final thought that I want to leave you with, which is this question. Okay, it's maybe a discussion for a future time, because I think it's quite a big thing, but leaving this with you to think about, because we've talked about gender, but what does that gender actually mean? What does it mean to you in your world? Because I think we all have quite different situations that we're in. And what does gender mean in the 21st century? Because things, I think, have changed. There's a lot of discussion around gender identity and what gender means. So that's something that I wanted to leave with you. Also, I'm going to stop sharing screen as well, and just to thank you for what has been it's been an amazing morning for me, and thank you for making it amazing.